Okay. Hello, hello. We have another late night stream. I hope everyone's doing well. Saw some people waiting in YouTube chat. Snarly Camp was first. TQ Wee Wee. Chess Tempe. Shalom, shalom. Liam PG3D says, play me Eric. Only if you're my friend. Let me enable this to everyone who has a Elite Chess account. Wow, someone was really quick there. Let's play the the first challenger. XanderLWilson challenged me like right when I enable challenges. If you're just joining, this is going to be a viewer challenge stream, subscriber challenge stream. Challenges are now open. Welcome back to Hark here. Says so late. Yeah, joining very late. We are just over 100 seconds into the stream. And we're going to have a Grand Prix attack. How about? Uh-oh. Are my green screen settings not working properly? Some green fuzz over my head. I was trying to troubleshoot this before the stream. Okay, with e6 so early, I'm going to play bishop e5. On c4, the bishop would be a bit restricted. Okay. I think I fixed the green screen settings. It was very subtle, but sometimes I try and be perfectionist. Oh, so late referring to probably what time it is. It's 10:17 p.m. in St. Louis. I'll probably end up streaming about 2 hours, give or take. Maybe give or take like half hour, depending how much energy I have. So that should be enough time to get in a handful of challenges. I'm still on autopilot for this game, just doing the usual Grand Prix things. A4 is usually very common in restricting the queenside expansion for black. And the middle game plan is to attack. Like queen g3, maybe to h3, f5, open the bishop, open the rook, maybe pawn storm with the g-pawn. Maybe even push in the center with the e-pawn. Why not 6 hours? I'm getting older. I don't have the same youthful energy I used to have. And usually after like 2 to 3 hours, I get pretty tired when it comes to streaming. Like I'm naturally an introvert, so it takes more energy than extroverts to talk so much. But the chess does help keep me awake. Sometimes chat helps keep me awake as well. There's a question from Starblast. Actually, 2 questions from Starblast in Twitch chat. Do you have any OTB tournaments coming up? I will be going to Greece in less than a month. It's a World Amateur Chess Championships. But I'm not playing. I'm just there as a guest. Be doing some game reviews, some lectures, some simul. I'll play the Blitzside event there. And the other question was, are you only streaming on Twitch or some other platform? Yeah, the some other platform is YouTube. So I do appreciate people tuning in across the 2 platforms I'm streaming to. If there's anyone that wants me to stream to more than 2 platforms, let me know. I know other platforms support live streaming, but Twitch and YouTube are kind of my go-tos, at least these days. Okay, I'm going to play f5. It's probably a move I should calculate, but it's just so common for this setup to unleash the bishop. And it's well supported too. Supported by the e-pawn, g-pawn, and queen. I didn't really calculate all the captures, but that should favor white because I can very easily sidestep to h1 and put the rook on g1. There's also the idea that if this pawn ever moves away from e6, then knight d5 is super, super strong. And just as I say that, the pawn has moved away from e6. So knight d5, I guess I could calculate. And it forces queen d8. Welcome back to Emberg. Something about a goose. Let me focus here first. Knight d5, queen d8. And then maybe just take back. I want more. I mean, I could get rid of the bishop and play this maybe. Actually, that's pretty forcing. Knight d5, queen d8, takes, knight g5 threatening mate. It would force h5. Black's actually defending things. Let's start with this. Emberg said, I saw a goose named Statue. Or, wait, a goose... Oh, it's getting so late. I'm struggling to read. I saw a goose statue named Gustave at Passover. That sounds like a Mad Lib. Like, give me an animal, give me a holiday, give me a hard object. I take... Haven't done Mad Libs in a long time. Yeah, I think I'll just take. Like, generally it's good to trade off Black's dark squared bishop and keep my own dark squared bishop, but this knight is so strong. I only want to trade it off if there's something that's like clearly forcing. Okay, here... And there's still this move. Huh. There's also takes in bishop g5. Yeah, my tactic senses are tingling. Because like all these pieces are ready to pounce. And if I play this, again, h5... It's like so close to winning something. Maybe I take. But the knight covers e6. Okay, we'll make the positional decision. Get rid of the bishop, exploit the dark squares. This pin is very hard to resolve. Because there's no h6. And the queen is tied out into the knight. The knight's pinned to the queen. And I'm probably threatening this. Apply more pressure. I just realized, I think the alerts got muted. Let me do a test here. Do people hear that?
Rosen.
Rosen. Thank you, due to symmetry. We should have text-to-speech. At least for some alerts. Okay, so the knights are now superfluous. Another defender on f6. I'll still play queen h4. The plan might be to double up. Wow, so black over-defends with the king. That makes sense. I might be too slow to double up. h6 might be coming. I still might go for this. This is multi-purpose, preparing this, but also preparing rook g2. And if h6, I probably don't take. I'd probably move back and reposition to c3. Oh, hey, C Diggs with the super chat says pounce. This is like what you do before you pounce. It's like the what do tigers do? They like slowly and quietly crawl up on their prey. Sometimes they retreat if the prey starts counterattacking. But eventually the plan is to pounce. You just need to be in optimal position. Yeah, stalking the prey. What's the difference between stalking and prowling? Prowl is not a word I use too often. Not a use I word too often. Yeah, it's a sign. It's already late. It's approaching my bedtime. Harder to get words straight. Rook h8. Black is preparing to uncastle. I think bishop c3 makes a ton of sense. Nice shish kebab.
Singapore.
Oh hey, it's Singapore backgammon. Welcome back. Happy 55.
Hi Eric.
Hello to double up pawns as well. Oh, stalking is when you find the prey. Prowling is looking for the prey. And pouncing is when you... I mean, have I already pounced? I feel like this is reaching the eating stage. Or the consumption stage. Consuming the prey. The opponent, I think, just kind of forgot about the pin. Even superfluous knights can be hanging when one of the knights is pinned. So now I have a couple options. I could take the knight or retreat with the queen. If I retreat with the queen, I do get fort. But then I pin. Black sidesteps, I take. I think that's good. I really don't want to trade off the bishop. Even though I'm up material, there is some argument just to trading. Well, maybe I could have taken... No, then I would blunder a queen. b5, okay. So now I can take, and the a pawn is pinned. Yeah, no mercy this game, especially when it comes to pins. Oh man, black's walking into every possible pin. The eating continues. That's not even the pin I saw coming. Okay, now the knight is pinned again. There's a funny line. I can play this move. Sacking my knight. But there's still some argument that this pawn is pinned on the h-file, because after takes, I take, force a king here, and then take, and then here, and then mate. Oh, am I threatening... Am I threatening a queen sack with mate? I think I am. I think I'm threatening this. Knight e6 double check, king h7. Queen h6, oh no, my queen. Bishop d2. If king h7, rook g7 mate. If king h5, rook g5, king h4, bishop e1. King h3, and then knight f4 checkmate. Opponent doesn't go for it. I'll share that after the game. That would have been a more, like, feel-good line. Okay. Now I just have to digest all the food I consumed. I guess this would only happen if black like played some move that doesn't change anything. If black plays this, then the calculation was knight e6. Only legal move is this because it's double check. Oh no, my queen. Bishop d2. So if king h7, this is checkmate. If king h5, what was I calculating? I was calculating this. I didn't consider this though. I was calculating this, this. The knight defends a rook, this, and then mate. But is it forced mate after king h6? I think it is. This is double check. Again, if this, it's mate. And if this, this, and bishop e1 mate. That would have been nice. Okay, fun game to start the stream. Yeah, I think things got a little bit difficult for black. Like probably after knight h5. Because the knight gave me fuel to expand with tempo. And generally in the structure, the knight's not great on g7. So it doesn't help defend the dark squares. And once the bishop came in, especially once my knight gets to d5, it's really good for white. So GG to my opponent. I think we'll move on. Thank you, Twitch, for the hype train. Choo choo. Again, if you're just joining and you want to challenge me, I currently have more than 50 pending challenges. This was the case with the stream the other day too. Actually 59 to be exact. Like Lichess, the number is slightly cut off the stream, but Lichess says 50. But when I refresh, it briefly shows the true number. So I'll accept a random challenge. Playing Lump of Coal. Never played before. Good luck. This is Casual Blitz. I assume my opponent is or maybe was watching on Twitch or YouTube. I'll give a little bit of time before maybe aborting and moving on. Because this is casual, like if you challenge me to casual and you want to watch the stream while you play me, that's totally fine. Generally with rated games, it's best to like mute the stream while you play and just watch afterwards. All right, so we have a move. Queen's pawn opening. Oh, is Jobava London coming? Very trendy opening these days. Jobava London it is. The c5 is probably the most aggressive move to play against Jobava London. Reverse Queen's Gambit. I don't think this is great because of d4. Now I expand. The knight can't stay in the center, so I control these squares. Knight b5 is a typical move in Jobava, but in this case it would run into queen a5. I would just win a piece there. No mercy. Yeah, there's cases where you check and attack the knight and the knight can move back, but in this case, the pawn on d4 does restrict knight c3. So I'm up a knight. I mean, maybe white can treat this as a gambit. My queen is a little bit misplaced. At the same time, it's actually nicely placed, attacking two undefended pawns. Maybe I'll take on b2. Wow. Restu Sohendar. 20,000 IDR. That's Indonesian rupiah, I believe. Thank you so much. I see you shared your username. I'll take note. Opponent wants to checkmate me, so I have to be careful. I'll play knight c6. Attacking, but more importantly, defending. And this queen might continue consuming things on the queen side. Oh, what did the super chat say? It said, "Play with me, master, please." My ID, aarestu. How do you say please in Indonesian? I feel like I used to know. Not sama-sama. And not terima kasih. I was thinking of this, but if takes, I can't take back with knight because I get mated. I just take here. I want to play the most precise chess. I'm actually thinking just g6, bishop g7, and castle. Queen is safe. No need to spend more time. And g6 also prepares bishop f5. The queen is tied down to c3. Ah, Caro-Kann. Okay. Wow, white played this move and probably said, "Oh no, my bishop. If I take it, I get mated." But I'll play this move. Attacking the queen. Over defending d8. I'm still attacking the bishop. I guess white could move the queen to defend. But then they'll be happy to trade and complete development, etc. Oh, thank you, old lump of coal. Subbing for the first time at tier 1. Is that my opponent? It probably is. First time sub. That's kind. Showing their support during the game. Okay, so now it actually gets kind of weird, but now I think this is just another free piece. You've got to be really careful before playing such a move. But d7's controlled 3 times, d8's controlled enough times. If queen b5, I'll take, and then probably bishop d7. I'll save the bishop, block the check. Black's now up 2 pieces. I haven't lost castling rights. And I do have unfinished business with these weak pawns on the queen side. Oh, thank you, Bones
Rosen,
Jones.
since our last game where I did a rookie roll, I've been watching your speedrun videos. They are amazing.
Oh, nice to hear. Appreciate that. Bones Jones. I feel like I've at some point called you Bonez Jones. But I appreciate the bits and the words. I'm going to play this first. No rush to take the pawn. Just applying maximum pressure. Wow, it's Callas Jason with $20 super chat. I'm a slow reader, so let me make my move and then read whatever was mentioned about zombies. I played this move. This move is slightly exotic, but let's do it. Idea knight d3. Was going to play some Black Ops 6 zombies. Saw you were streaming. Saw some of your content on YouTube, decided to check out a stream. Made the right choice. Oh, that's super kind. I have to save the act of killing zombies for another time. Like, I've heard of Black Ops, but I don't know what it is. But chess is more interesting, I'd like to argue. The opponent wants to probably trap my thing. I always have knight d3 or knight a4. I'm playing g5. Trying to destroy the structure. Yeah, white reinforces things. There's almost a funny line. Okay, I'm gonna try and set up this funny line. There's a really funny tactic that, like, it's not necessary to try and get, but I feel like there's a very natural way of white walking into it. This is probably, like, not a great move objectively, because after rook b4, my knight is trapped on b2. Oh no, my knight. I'll play this. Maybe I play this. Oh, let's play this. So I lose my knight. Now there's a reason for playing knight d3, which maybe we'll see, but maybe we won't see. I'm just realizing my tactic, like, even if my opponent doesn't see the tactic, they probably see this other tactic. Okay, so my tactic is not knight c5, even though it's a fork and it wins a rook. The fancier tactic is queenside castling, which a lot of people don't realize is legal. But that's a castle fork. So GG, thank you, lump of coal. Timely resignation there. Not a tactic that you see every day. I think I had this once in Title Tuesday. But it's not a thing that you get to do too often. I think you sir poops a lot. The 99-cent super chat. Yeah, what do we call this? A cork? The castle fork? How on earth is that legal? I posted like a few shorts where I played this tactic, and there were a lot of comments like debating the legality of such a move. Because b8 is controlled, but in chess, castling is prevented if the king moves through a square that's attacked. So the king doesn't move through b8. It's only the rook that moves through b8. So castling is perfectly legal as long as d8's not controlled and the king and rook haven't moved and the king's not in check. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, the facile. The fork castle. The facile or the cork? I don't know. Or the forcel. Eric, will you accept bullet challenges? Yes. I accept all types of challenges. Except correspondence challenges, because those could take days or weeks. Let's keep it going. You just make sure everything is running smoothly. I think I'll do another random challenge, and then I'll do a non-random challenge. Hey Eric, may I purchase a game with you? Yeah, I'm probably going to alternate between like random challenges and then people of my choosing. I mean, I'll try and get through as many people who want a game, or as many super chatters who want a game, but also Twitch subscribers. It is hard to please everyone, but I do my best. So one more random challenge. Playing Sir Tristram. Last time I did a stream like this, I did give a few simuls towards the end. So that might end up happening here. But for now, we'll take it game by game. Playing a delayed Alapin here, which is kind of reminiscent of Ponziani. I know there's a lot of Ponziani enjoyers out there. It's the same concept of trying to dominate the center with the pawns. And this is already a pretty good success. Like generally, black, at a high level, black plays knight f6 to counterattack. But knight c6 doesn't quite stop me from doing what I want to do. I'm going to play h3 here. This is a very typical move. Preventing bishop g4. Leaving the bishop with not a great developing square. Congratulatory corks, kind of, sort of, but not really bits. I guess super chats are the bits of YouTube. Thank you, Garu with the Prime on Twitch. Oh, I do appreciate when people like clip stuff. And Twitch and YouTube have abilities of clipping, and sometimes I'll browse through the clips that people make occasionally. Sometimes they do get repurposed for shorts. Okay, it's a question where to develop the bishop. Like 4 viable options. 1 non-viable option. Bishop c4 could walk into some center fork annoyances. Bishop d3 doesn't have a great future. So maybe bishop e3. Just delay the light square bishop development. Yeah, I just want to see how black finishes their development before committing my bishop. Okay, so with this move, I think bishop c4 is now a decent choice. Because the queen's obstructed, so there's no more takes in d5. The pawn would just be undefended. I'm not too scared of knight a5. If knight a5, I just move back, and my bishop's still happy, and the knight's slightly misplaced. If rook c8, I probably play queen e2. Support the bishop. Thank you to 3 bumblebees and a trench coat. A long username. Subbing with Prime for 11 months. Thank you, Zingirda, who says these bits are always challenging. Yeah, I appreciate the many ways people are challenging me. Okay, let's go ahead and castle. I mean, I have kind of the quintessential development, like knights and bishops in the center. And I'll keep improving. And queen e2 connects the rooks. Also prevents knight c4. And this is maybe one of black's plans, is to plant the knight here. So b3 might be useful. Wow, another 20,000 rupiah. Asking a question about Indo. I'm just thinking, if this, probably knight b1, even though it looks passive, the a pawn is then probably just a goner. I do prevent knight c4. So Restu Suhendar asking, when was the last time you... I assume you're referring to the last time I went to Indonesia. But Indo is, it's actually one of my favorite restaurants in St. Louis. It's not Indonesian food, but it's more like Asian fusion. I went several months ago. It was really, really good. It's always really good. Last time I went to Indonesia was just over a year ago. Spent some time in Bali. It was very warm. Nice way to escape the Midwest winter here in the US. Had some really good food there too. Thank you, JH, the $9.99 super chat. Okay, I want to start being aggressive, but maybe e5 is the way to go. Actually, e5 might just win a piece. Take. The knight can't retreat to e8, can't stay in the center, has to go here, and then g4 will trap the knight. Monkey Abroad asking, have you ever played the Monkey Gambit? I don't know what that is. I'll have to search that afterwards. I did go to the monkey forest in Ubud, in Bali. Took some selfies with some monkeys. Yeah, it was probably the last time I saw monkeys in real life. Excise Sparks asking a relevant chess question. How do you weigh pushing g5 and trapping the knight versus weakening your king? Yeah, that's a very good question. I assume you're asking about g4 in this case. Usually in chess, a weakness is only a weakness if the opponent can attack it. So the king is only weak if black has ways to attack the king. In such a position, even if I move the pawns in front of the king, it's very hard for black to attack effectively. And the definition I usually like to use for weakness is something that's easy to attack and hard to defend. Okay, so my opponent actually sacked exchange to save the knight, which was probably the best option. Now I don't have to even worry about weakening my king with g4, even though it probably wasn't much of a worry. And now, yeah, I do have one more rook than black. Black has one more bishop than me. So I'm up the exchange. Jackson Love asking, do you ever play drafts/checkers? It's been a while. It's been over a year. I used to play on the site leadrafts.org. Basically a clone of leachess.org, but for drafts. I think it still exists. If I have the time and energy later this stream, maybe I'll take a challenge on leadrafts. I have to remember my login. Calculating whether or not I can allow takes. I'm not going to calculate. I mean, black has too many undefended things. I assume there should be tactics. I just want to save mental energy. I'm not seeing the immediate tactic. Like takes are bishop d2 and then bishop c7 defends.
Hey Eric, been a while since I've caught you on Twitch. Hope all is well.
Oh, welcome back to Pawn Nugget. How long has it been since you caught me on YouTube? If you haven't watched on Twitch in a while, I have recently started multi-streaming. Started about a couple months ago. I do appreciate the bits. Also, welcome back to Not a GM. Subbing for 64 months. That's a lot of years. Okay, so black did not call my bluff. Although I don't think it was a bluff. Maybe I'll just take on a6. Oh, wait a minute. Black's threatening this. Okay, let's play bishop d4. Mainly a defensive move. Defending the pawn, covering c3. I do allow this, but I don't mind the trades. Oh, thank you, XI Sparks, gifting to Mr. Monopoly. Should I put my bishop in the corner? I feel like the bishop is slightly preferred here rather than... No, it's close. Let's put it here, actually. It's still defended by the queen. $9.99 from N. Hi, Eric. My 9-year-old son is watching. Oh, shout out to your son. And would love to play a game. Okay, I see the ID. Yeah, I might have to do some simuls to get through all these, especially like the super chat challenge requests. But let's get through this game first. Play queen e3. Yeah, I learned from the previous stream that also it's sometimes hard to navigate through the challenge list. So sometimes it's easier if I determine the username and then send a challenge myself. Okay, so the bishop has abandoned the knight, attacks the rook. I think I'm happy to give this rook for 2 minor pieces. Assuming takes, I'll be up a knight. Ooh. Double attack. I think rook c4 is called for. And still allowing bishop takes e3. Yeah, this is a 10-0 game, so there's no increment. Opponent down to their final 90 seconds. And usually when you're down material, like you don't want to trade. Even though this wins material, it does help me simplify a bit. And everything is super solid now. Pawn's defended, controlling the two open files. Considering this move, like it sacks, I don't think it really works though. Huh. I'll play h4. a2's attacked. Let's counterattack the rook. Expecting this. Although then I win e7. But then black wins a2. Oh, that move I missed. I have this move. So saving my queen by pinning the rook. Forcing the rook trade. Yeah, again, if you're just tuning in, I'm doing some viewer challenges. There's very high demand as usual, but trying to keep things instructive. Hopefully with every game, I'll teach a thing or two. Oh no, my bishop. I am threatening mate in one. I guess the king could start running. Where's my mate? Check. Oh, there's like almost en passant mate in some funny cases.
Using Prime Sub.
Thanks for the Prime sub. Alamoth. It's so close to mate.
Let's go.
There we go. Okay. Good game. Yeah, I think black's problems maybe slightly stemmed from the opening. Like usually when you play the Sicilian and you encounter this specific position, the best move is knight f6. Because then d4 doesn't work, because then black can win the pawn. But interestingly enough, if my opponent played this, I would have played bishop e2, allowing this. But knight e4 is a blunder here because queen a4 check. So, like the main point of knight f6 is not to take the pawn immediately, but it prevents d4 because d4 obstructs the fourth rank. So bishop e2 is a way to just keep developing and ensure that black can't take the pawn. And there's some theory here. Like I think g6, castle, here. The pawn's always defended by the tactic, castle, and then bishop f1 is some line. Question from Maple Muppet. Could you comment on why you like to play delayed Alapin versus regular Alapin? Yeah, that's a good question. Because regular Alapin is just c3 immediately. And I guess one reason is if white shows their cards too soon. I shouldn't say too soon, just sooner rather than later. Then black has a choice between d5 and knight f6. These are the two main lines. Both are still very fine for white. But sometimes when I play against Sicilian and my opponent plays, let's say, some other move like knight c6, rather than going for c3, I like to play bishop b5. Sometimes I like to play open Sicilian. Even bishop c4 is like a trendy, tricky line. So knight f3 is arguably a bit more flexible, but it's just a different opening. Both delayed Alapin and regular Alapin are completely playable for white. And there's cases where like a player might usually play open Sicilian, but if black plays g6 on move 2, then delayed Alapin is known to be one of the best responses to undermine the fianchettoed bishop. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, Ecstatic Broccoli. Who says, watching you is very comforting. That's kind. Okay. Let me fulfill one of these super chat requests. So I'll just take a moment. I'm doing this in a different window. Send a challenge. Okay. I sent a challenge to this person. I've never seen this flare, VS. So it's Eitonton versus me. Good luck to my opponent. Have fun. Oh dear, my opponent's talking to me. I've hidden chat, like chat's cut off. Opponent says wait. I'm waiting. Oh, my opponent wants 10-0. Okay, let's fulfill the wish. 10-0 is fine. I know most games I've played thus far have been 10-0. Yeah, kids these days, what to do? Okay, good luck. We have a queen's pawn. Oh, wow. Pawn's 2202. When I was 9 years old, I was 1200. Lichess didn't exist actually when I was that age. I was 1200 US rating. Okay, I'm playing the elephant trap, which is one of the first openings I learned. If white takes the pawn too many times and like gets punished. Okay, we have one of my favorite openings against the Queen's Gambit. This is the start of the Cambridge Springs. Pretty tricky, aggressive line. Not every Queen's Gambit player will enter this position, but it usually happens when white leaves tension between the pawns. There's more potential for the fifth ring to open up. And the main idea with Queen A5 is to do a lot of things. It simultaneously unpins the knight on F6 and pins the knight on C3. Also prepares this and sometimes this. Bishop D3 looks like a natural move, but is actually one of the main ways white goes wrong. Because now knight E4 is a fork. There's some nice geometry here. I learned about this opening, what age? Maybe 13 or 14? No, maybe 12 or 13. Okay, now I actually have to think, because like the most obvious move is take, take, take. But I don't think that's the best line. I'm pretty sure the best move is E5 here. There was a time where I began making a course in this this opening. And at some point it got to be a little bit too much. And I put it on pause. But I was studying this very deeply. And E5 is a temporary pawn sacrifice to, first of all, get a tempo against this bishop, provoke white to take, And it's played with understanding that I'm going to eventually win back the pawn if white takes. Long term, it's useful in helping activate the bishop. Now, there are some concrete lines. First of all, if white takes with a knight, then I can take, and there's no knight d2, and I would eventually win material. In this case, I'm pretty sure I just take now. And after takes, again, knight d2 is forced to block the check and save the bishop. Okay, white's taking a moment here probably to calculate queen d2, which sometimes is a good resource to get out of these situations. But yeah, trying to show no mercy in the opening. After the game, I can probably elaborate more on some of the intricacies in this line. Okay, but yeah, knight d2 is coming. Now, like bishop e4 looks really attractive because it creates the battery and also threatens queen takes c4. But then rook c1 and like white defends, and I don't think it's as good as it looks. I think the simple move is just takes, and then takes, and then takes, and I'm up a pawn. I have the bishop pair in a pretty open position. And if rook c1 here, then I can strike with knight d3. Yeah, after the game, I can answer some of the questions that might need some analysis for. There is a reason why I didn't take before playing e5. But hopefully it makes sense why e5 was useful, because I still won back the pawn. This bishop, which is usually a big problem in this opening, now has life. But it's still a game. I'm up a pawn, and white's much fully castled and developed. Still needs to improve the queen and rooks. If I play this, white defends and attacks. I still might play this. Not accepting a draw here. Probably bishop d6, knight f3, and then queen e7. Looks solid. Another 20,000 IDR. Don't worry, I don't forget you. I have my YouTube dashboard thing, which shows me like all the previous super chats. I also have my like Twitch event list, which shows like recent resubs and cheers. But it's the nature that like in streams like this, a lot of people want to play, so patience is required. I'm just wanting to complete development here. Get some harmony. E5 might be coming. Maybe it's a question. Do I start with bishop g4? Opponent's probably saying, oh no, my pawn. My opponent actually sent a chat saying, take the pawn. That's like reverse psychology. Huh. I think I just want a castle. I mean, take the pawn would blunder the bishop and or the queen. So let's play safe. Donnie Burnett with the $50 super chat. Says, hey, Eric, been a fan since 2021. Would be honored to get a game. Shares a username.
Yo.
Thank you so much. Says, I'm working towards 2000 ELO and would value any advice on finding a coach. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, what you love through chess, tennis, and photography. Oh, thanks for all the kind words and the support. I still got to stay focused here. Yeah, this game's not over. I play this, H3. I think it makes sense to just maintain the pin. Oh, thank you, Mike Boy for Mayor, also with the sub. I do appreciate all the support tonight. Apologies if I overlook messages or alerts. Thank you, that Chi-Town dude. Maybe that's one way my opponent will have some hope in this position if I get too distracted. But so far things are going very swimmingly. I still want to get the rooks into the game. Yeah, the bishop is probably happier aligned with the king. Like, I don't want to take the knight unless it's for a very good reason. It's probably one of White's hopes is to trade the knight for the bishop and get an off-the-card bishop situation where it's generally just harder to win. So queen b3, unpinning and applying pressure. If takes are still queen takes. I could play b5. I don't think b5 is necessary though. I mean, it's probably useful, like, eventually. This is a situation where sometimes I burn too much time. I should just play, like, a quick logical move. I'm going to play b5. It does chase the bishop back, even though it does potentially make my c-pawn backwards. What was I going to say? Eventually my c-pawn could be a forwards pawn, which isn't really an official chess term. But rather than being the base of the pawn chain, it could be the head of the pawn chain. And this is the ideal setup. But before playing c5, I probably have to just play a6. Which looks slow, but I have the time. The pieces are decently placed. I didn't consider taking this. Maybe I should have, though. I mean, sometimes I unconsciously reject moves because they just seem scary. And now the queen's tied down to the bishop. So is there anything wrong with playing c5? e5, bishop c7. I think it's okay. I could take and maybe do things, but... Oh, wait a minute. c5, queen d5. No, I have to take. Wait. I have to be extra careful. Maybe rook d8's the best move. Actually, c5 is still fine. Queen d5, then I take and like plant the bishop here. But this should be safer. I'm moving this rook because the other rook probably wants to go to e8. Okay, that's the move I missed. Take. I think it's fine though. I just have to not get forked. These things are very forkable. Like this, knight f5 also potentially an idea. I think it's okay. Yeah, let's just take here first. Yeah, the counterattack is met with a counterattack. I think. This game is kind of going the full distance. I'm still trying to decide, like, assuming rook takes e2 is played, can I give up the pawn and then trap the knight? Almost. Not quite. c5. And queen c7 is probably the most logical. Just defending the pawn. Also of this, and I could even play this and force a trade of rooks. I still want to play c5, c4. Okay, bishop f4 or c5 or bishop e5. Maybe bishop e5. Just being extra sure about tactics. Wait, 96? Take. Wow. Wait, 96 might be a move there. Maybe bishop e7 is safer. I'll have a lot to analyze after this game. Also, we're approaching the time scramble. I gotta lock in. Yeah, like if I play bishop e5, 96, and then there's a massive trade, I think I would lose back the pawn in the end. Now, can take. Bishop here looks safe. I'm playing slow in the sense that like, pawn's not advancing quickly enough. Maybe this move. But it's still very solid for black. Some idea of queen a1, if the timing's right. I could play g6. Maybe just this. Again, probably not necessary, but extra safe. If this, I take the pawn. I also do want to probably eventually play g6. Like with bishop, wait, I think it's a free pawn. Earlier, my opponent tried to bait me into taking a pawn that was poison. But it's actually the same pawn too. All right, let's check. I just gotta watch my time. I think g6 is nice here. Like usually when it's bishop for knight, then you want your pawns on the off the collar of the bishop. And it just maximizes square control. Where to put the queen? Always gotta watch out of like weird intermediate moves. I'm playing this a little bit slow on the clock, but 24 seconds should be enough time. Okay. Plenty of time. GG. Yeah, towards the end, it was kind of just a battle of the clock, I guess. But kudos to my opponent, putting up a very good fight after I definitely won the opening battle. Real quick, I just wanted to check this moment. Like when I played, what was it, Bishop E7? Which the computer says is a mistake. I was about to play Bishop E5, which I think is an even bigger mistake. Because white has an amazing move, knight E6, triple fork. And the tactics just work out beautifully that if takes, then I'm going to eventually be losing back the bishop. My rook and queen are tied down to defending d8. I would have to play this, and then after takes, it's equal material. Black's not better. How bad was bishop e7? Okay, it's still better for black. The best move would have been check here and then here. And maybe c5 is coming. This is no longer working because the bishop's safe on f4. Okay, quick lesson about the opening too. So Cambridge Springs, as we saw, is very, very tricky, very venomous. As far as I understand, there's like 3 decently good moves for white to play. There's knight d2, which is what most strong masters play. There's he takes d5, which I think is a top engine move. And you see it like the very high level. You do kind of have to know what you're doing, because after knight takes, there's still pressure on the rank and against the pinned knight. But after queen d2, the engine says white is doing slightly better. There's also the safest option, bishop f6, which just removes the bishop from being a target, and then white can continue in many ways. Knight d2 is still possible, queen c2 is possible. Black doesn't have the same pressure with knight e4. What happened in the game after bishop d3? This is like one of the most natural looking moves on Lichess. It's been played how many times? Over almost 63,000 games in this position. And white's basically already fallen for the trap. And yeah, e5 is a nice line. Now, just to show, the reason why I didn't go for this is because white actually has compensation here. I have played this myself a good number of times online, but after rook c1, black pretty much has to go for this like, queenless middle game, almost an end game. And black is still up a pawn, but white has like good compensation with 2 bishops and black's a bit passive. So that's why like e5 is a really nice inclusion. Even though it does lose a pawn temporarily, I'm able to win it back with a better position. Oh, XI Sparks is asking, which way would you take back if c d5? Yeah, knight takes d5 is the main move. But if c takes d5 earlier, like in this position, then queen a5 is no longer as effective because there's no potential for this rank to open with the pawn trade. So if my opponent played, let's say bishop d3 is a bit more flexible, then I would have played something a bit more solid, bishop e7. So I hope I answered most of the questions there. There's always more to analyze in such an opening. There's a question a bit later on. Why did white give a piece after bishop h7? Oh, here. Yeah, if queen takes h6, then queen takes e7. I win the rook and defend my rook. So yeah, it was just kind of a blunder that the queen is actually overworked here, defending the knight and defending the rook. And both things are attacked. So let's keep it going. Okay, I'm going to send the next challenge. I do want to really reward this Donnie Burnett. Give a super generous super chat. So give me one moment. I'm going to find this game. Find this opponent. Again, with all the games today, I am trying to show no mercy, but still trying to be instructive, provide some lessons. For anyone that does play me, if you guys have special requests, whether it's time control or like an opening to play or odds, I'm sometimes happy to abide. Oh, Donnie is in chat, says, wish me luck. I actually sent you a challenge. Look for it on Lichess. Because I don't think... Oh, maybe I found it. Okay. No, this is the one I'm sending. Yeah, unfortunately, my challenge list is a little bit too full. There's 67 pending challenges here. Wait, stream is down? No. Did the stream break, though? Danny Meir with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, hey, Eric. Hey, Danny. How are you doing? Thanks for the support. I had read an offhand comment in the Lichess like game chat, but maybe it was just someone's internet connection. Okay, good luck to my opponent. I saw some proposal in chat saying to play 2 blindfold games at once. Which I do actually have my blindfold. I haven't done that a while, or in a while on stream. Is my opponent trying to play the cow? But the cow usually starts with the knights developing first. Oh, my opponent's playing the Hikaru. Hikaru used to do this like all the time on ICC. But it's usually when white fianchettos. Like if I had committed to g3 bishop g2, this setup makes sense. But in this position, this setup makes less sense. But maybe it's still playable. I guess here there is bishop g4. Do I spend the time to play h3? I don't think so. If black wants to spend the time to move the bishop again, I'll allow it. I guess a lot of people maybe don't fully understand the reference to Hikaru's games in the ICC days. But there was a time before Lichess and chess.com existed. Hikaru Nakamura used to play on the Internet Chess Club, like the first big online chess platform. It's one of the first platforms I played on growing up. And he had so many games where he would win with this this attack. Like his opponents would fianchetto, he'd play h5, h4, etc. I wonder what inspired my opponent. Like, hopefully not me. I almost never do this sort of thing. I do want to show no mercy. There's this. I think I still go for knight g5. If black wants to play f6, then it is a bit committal. Uh-oh, is my green screen acting up again? I think something changed with the white balance on my camera. I was fiddling with it before the stream. Maybe I didn't fully fix it. Maybe I'm a bit more sepia than usual. Okay. I'm doing my best here, trying to grab space, get some piece harmony. I think my opponent's like playing some kind of system-based opening that I'm not entirely familiar with. But to be honest, black is like decently solid. Probably wants to do this, so let's clamp down. Sometimes against such setups, the first step is to be patient and just improve, grab space without overextending, and then look for eventual weaknesses. And I think the main weakness in black's position is not a piece or a pawn, but it's a square. This b6 square is well within my control, especially after knight a4. Thank you, some not on Twitch. First time, Prime. Oh, I see the comment from Just Joshing in Twitch chat, who says, good job during the tourney today. I was about to say I didn't play a chess tournament today. But maybe there's a small community of people that know that I did play in a pretty serious competition for money earlier today. That wasn't chess. Oh, thank you, Bones Jones. Bonez Jones. The $20 super chat. Okay, I'm holding on to the pawn. I should note that my opponent probably forgot that en passant was possible. Or maybe didn't forget, but just didn't realize. And now, yeah, life is very good. Wait a minute, I don't have to move the knight. I can take here. And the queen kind of... It's weird, like, bishop takes a6, queen a8, knight h3, knight b7. And my bishop's pinned, my queen would be forced away. I would actually lose material. This pawn might actually be poisonous. Yeah, let's just move back. Am I playing against the Alshad system? Like, that actually briefly came to mind. There's a time a few years ago, someone explained to me what the Alshad system is. And then it left my memory. But this might be something similar. So I do remember it being like a very unusual way of setting up the pieces. Maybe slightly dubious. Okay, now I think this is safe to take. I mean, black can still pin me. The queen is being put in the corner. Unless it goes here. Wow. So the rook pins. Black is basically offering a queen trade. Fancy. Let's trade queens. After it takes, my bishop's almost trapped. The knight's attacking it. The only safe square is c8. Now it's an imposter bishop. Like, usually it's a black bishop that's on c8, but now it's a white bishop. I'm preparing b7. Defend the bishop, defend the pawn, threaten to queen. I'm already dreaming of another castle fork. I'm imagining like this. Somehow the file opens, I castle and win the rook on b2. Pretty far away from that happening though. Or are we? And this almost traps a rook, forces the rook back. Okay, maybe I'll just keep pushing. Wait, no. Maybe I'll play this. This looks pretty good. I want to play this and this. Oh yeah, I was explaining the competition I was playing earlier, but then I got distracted. It's typical with streams like this. I'll go on a tangent and then forget what the tangent was. So I played a competition earlier in the game of Quibble, which is... It's kind of like chess, but a lot more like Scrabble. It's played on a 15 by 15 board, same size as a Scrabble board, but it has different scoring rules compared to normal Scrabble. And it's a game that I've been very into for the last couple months. And today and yesterday, it was a prize tournament. There was a $1,000 prize fund. I made it to the final 8 players. It was a bracket format. But I got knocked out in the semi, or not in the semi, in the quarterfinals. I had some really interesting games. Okay, this is going really, really well. Maybe F4. Unfortunately, I can't get connect 8 because I have double B pawns. My only way to get connect 8 is to undouble the pawn like this and then connect 8 on the 7th rank. Or I guess I could undouble this way and then connect 8 on the 6th rank. I'll just build the battery on the only open file. Yeah, it would be cool to play Quibble on stream. One of the reasons why I didn't stream my games is, unlike chess, it would be very possible to stream snipe. Because to show the like game, I would have to spoil what tiles I have. So might have to find a solution to that. It's also a mobile app, so I'd have to figure out. I think I could actually probably show it on the computer, but there'd be some technical challenges. Yeah, maybe I should do like a highlights video of my games from the competition though. Maybe someday there will be a Quibble World Championship. I can get a higher ranking in Quibble than chess. Okay, so we did trade off a pair of pawns. No more connect 8 possibilities. But yeah, I think I'm going to be winning more material here. Ooh. All right, let's pin the knight. No mercy. Now the knight's forever pinned. I'll just go into c7 to try and win it. Oh, thank you to Misha.
Hello.
Hello. I'm just realizing my green screen is acting up again. Sometimes I can adjust the lighting by just waving my hand. I probably need to set the camera to like manual exposure. Okay, so I'm setting up this. I'm keeping the knight defending the pawn. And black is in a world of hurt. I could just cut off the... Playing around a little bit with my my layout. Okay, good game to my opponent. You just fix the board size. Wait, what did I do? Here we go. Yeah, I don't know what advice to give. Probably don't play this opening. It's a little bit passive. It was interesting though. I guess the biggest mistake in this game was playing b5. Be aware of en passant. Like in such a structure, a5 is such a nice positional move for white to guarantee control over b6. That's probably the reason why the engine says c6 is a bit dubious, is because it weakens a square a bit too much. So sometimes if black wants to actually achieve b5, the best way to go about doing that is b6 first. So then if I play a5, b5 can be met, or it can be met with b5, and there's no en passant because the pawn came from the 6th rank. And then the plan for black is to play c6 and eventually b5. So just a small lesson in positional pawn play. Anyway, GG again. greenhulkboy. Thanks again, also known as Donnie, for the YouTube support. Let's keep it going. We'll do another random challenge. Oh, I have some from position challenges, which could be interesting. Random challenge. It feels like it shouldn't be a legal username. You have multiple underscores in the same username. I guess you can. What does this say? WW? Or UUUU? Or uwu? Isn't uwu like gonna be a valid Scrabble word soon? Maybe just in the Collins dictionary. Okay, good luck to my opponent. Is it Stafford Gambit time? This is casual, so no rating is on the line. Good night to Double B. Okay, white's playing the main refutation. White's actually playing the Hikaru recommended refutation. Bro thinks he's Hikaru. Hikaru made a whole YouTube video about this line. Shortly after I played the Stafford at the World Rapid and Blitz Championship and beat a GM in 14 moves. But that was from a different line. That was from a line where white actually falls for a trap. In this line, white is playing all the right moves. Now, I think Hikaru didn't cover this specific line in his video. Like Queen H4, Queen F6. Like he covered a lot of other branches. Cowsing is a very fine move. It's actually still a playable position for black. Even though white has a center, the king is arguably safe. I do have attacking potential. The main resources are Queen G6 and H4. I think I'll start with Queen G6. Just align with the king, and tickle the pawn on E4, which is not defended. Okay, so white develops and defends. Now there's options. Like I could take the bishop and go for this. I could play this immediately. There's also potential to sack the knight and play H4. Try and just explode the king side. Yeah, this might require some calculation. I like the idea of playing H4 and leaving the knight. So I'm not sure if I want to sack or trade. I'm not too concerned about takes. Because then I'll have the light squared bishop to exploit white's light squares. Oh yeah, if Donnie is still in chat, feel free to explain what opening that was. Oh, Donnie said, there's a message from earlier. That was as difficult as I thought it was, LOL. Okay, fair enough. I'm still curious about the origin of the opening. So e5. So white's thrusting their center. But now maybe I can sack. I could also take... Wait, this is probably winning already for black. I'll take the bishop and then take the pawn. And white can't take back because it's mate. I'll be threatening to win h2. Yeah, I think white probably had to play h3 much sooner. Okay, after the game we'll analyze. No mercy now. I actually don't know what's stronger, rook h2 or pawn h2. Like if it's black's move here, pawn h2 is double check, but then the king hides in front of the pawn. Well, now I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, GG. I mean, white played like a grandmaster for the first probably 10 moves of the game. And here white has to still play some like decent defensive moves. I think bishop e3 gave me, like already gives black some good potential to exploit the king side. Okay, apparently I should have taken the bishop right away and then queen g6. But yeah, it still goes to show, like even if white's prepared against the Stafford, sometimes it's hard to fend off the eventual attack. Oh yeah, if Danny Mir wants to play, another big super chat. Let me play, see if I can find the username from the person who kept giving Rupiah to. Also, thank you, Gordon Keller, $4.99 super chat. Bear with me one moment here. I'm really doing my best to keep up. Here we go. Setting a challenge. I think moving forward, I am going to request schemes are blitz just so I can get in a higher volume before the stream ends. Okay, good luck to aarestu, who I assume is watching from Indonesia. Selamat pagi, maybe? Or selamat siang. Is it morning or afternoon? Stafford Gambit Part 2. Hello, my $15. Again, if you're supporting and you want to play, you can let me know your Lichess username. I can't stream for too much longer, but I can stream for another at least half hour. Okay, let's play d5. This is an anti-Stafford Gambit. d4 is like, it's a slightly annoying line. But it is one of the main lines in the Petrov. So I'm still trying to be active. Have the development. Let's go ahead and castle. White was maybe threatening to do things. Okay, white is definitely threatening to do things to this knight. I mean, I can't not consider knight takes f2, bishop c5. But okay, it doesn't do anything. I play this. Yeah, kind of awkward. Let's develop and defend. Like sometimes, especially early in the game, you want to develop as quickly and efficiently as possible. So I didn't want to take time to like trade off my already developed knights. I mean, we might end up trading anyway, but at least my pieces will be active. I'm going to leave the tension between the knights. Oh, Donnie Burnett says the opening goes by the honey badger system. Interesting. I've never heard that before. Honey badger. Sounds slightly sweet, but also slightly aggressive. I think the last time I saw a badger was in Switzerland. I'm not sure if it was a honey badger. I actually don't know the difference between a honey badger and like a normal badger. But when I was in Switzerland, I spent some time just outside Biel. There's some nice like nature walks. And I saw some animal like running around. And I think it was a badger, but it was kind of distant. I want to play f5, but that's not legal. Okay, I'll play king h8. The calm before the storm. The calm before the pawn storm. I mean, rook e8 also is attractive. I'll play this first just to try and disturb the queen. Okay, the queen goes back to where it came from. I'll play this. The knight is sort of pinned to g2, so if takes, I checkmate. Okay, GG. No mercy there. Yeah, white was under a lot of pressure. Probably bishop g3 is a safer move. But I was still probably going to take. Uh-oh. Getting a message saying my encoding is overloaded. I don't think the stream broke. Sometimes it's like, if YouTube chat fills up too much, then it slows down like everything else. Something with caching. Yeah, the position is like already quite nice for black. Oh, I missed knight d4. Because again, like the knight's pinned. Knight d4 would fork, exploit the pin as well. The pawn is pinned, so I'm actually just winning the house. So let's check the theory. Yeah, the very high level, en passant, even though it's a fun move to play and a fun phrase to say, it's not that great because it helps black develop. And black scores like pretty well out of the few games that have been played at master level. So, like many of the top grandmasters in the world have had this position, and most common move is knight d2 right away. So kind of leaving the pawns as they are. Black is now under pressure. White wants to trade queens and take away black's casting rights and then play this. And there's some weird lines. Yeah, like queen d7. It's to avoid the potential of black losing casting rights. I don't think I would have played that move though. I think I would have played this. Oh, but then knight d4. Yeah, white could get some initiative if black's not careful. Okay, let's play Danny Muir. Another $50 super chatter. Let me know if you want 3+2 or 5+0. Or 10-0. Again, I'm hoping to get some more blitz schemes in. Here we go. Yeah, knight d2 maybe isn't like the most natural looking move. So it does block the bishop. But it does come with a threat too, so maybe bishop d3 is a little bit more natural. And black would move the knight again. It's also playable. Okay. A challenge has been sent. I do want to end the stream with something special. Like maybe a simul, maybe a blindfold game. Good luck to my opponent. Oh, thank you, Skiddy, as well. Okay, another name to keep in mind. Okay, this is a 2 knights attack against Caro-Kann. I'm setting up a potential smother mate trap my opponent doesn't fall into. Oh no, my queen! Oh no. Okay. Of course, my opponent stops the mate in 1. Should I do a blindfold simul? I don't think I have the energy for that. I haven't done a blindfold simul in a long time. It's been, I think it's been over a year or two. Oh no, my bishop. So this is another poisonous piece. If black takes, I take back. And if the knight moves, I have queen h5 and very typical mating ideas. Okay, this is interesting. I think black wants to follow up with this, but then I have this. Oh, so black takes the bishop here. This is also interesting. Now it's actually a question. Do I take the knight or the pawn? I think the pawn is actually more valuable here. It's not the pawn that's valuable. It's the nature of opening the H file that provides the most value. I see Gray Swords in Twitch chat saying, oh, was that my my last opponent? It says I knew the best line against Stafford, but I guess I couldn't convert. Yeah, it's this is definitely one of the best lines. Sometimes, even if you know the best line, you still need to survive. the early middle game as well. It was a good game. Hopefully some lessons to take away. Oh, this is tricky. If I play this thinking I'm mating, black mates me in 2. Queen d2 and then queen takes f2 mate. A good thing I can take the knight and still get the same mating ideas. It's actually very close to force mate. There's very few resources for black to defend. If g6, I play queen h4. Yeah, f5. Now I can double en passant. Except I can only en passant one pawn at a time. Yeah, let's take it this way. So unleashing the queen. The question is, Eric Rosen Extra one of your official channels? Yes, it is. Yeah. It is linked from my main channel. That's how you know it's one of my own channels. It's under my my featured channels pages on my main channel. Black might be winning this pawn. And at the same time defending against the mate. Yeah, maybe it's not force mate. Takes, rook f7. It looks good, but if I played this, the black's surviving. A good resourcefulness from my opponent. It's still looking very bleak for black. Oh, hello my $2. Okay, see the username as well. Okay, let's take and then... I really feel like I should be getting more than just being up a pawn. Black has the option of checking first and then taking. There's also queen takes g2, but then I queen with double check, so... Okay, we get this. Let's check. I don't want to trade queens with black's king being so exposed. So king e7. I should probably just castle here. Control the d-file. Then I lose f2. It's interesting. There's queen c5. Let's start with queen c5. Might be getting close to some castle mate. Oh dear. I might have to simul all these super chatters. I can't stream for that much longer. But I feel bad ending the stream with so many people supporting. Alright, now it's time to castle. I'm just realizing I should have... I repeat? Nah, let's just do this. I probably should have castled first, wait for rook f2, and then queen c5 would have been a nice fork. But that's okay. The position's still very, very good. Queen directly defends f2 here. I like there's a comments with someone impressed that I developed my rook without actually moving the rook. Yeah, it's the nature of pushing the h-pawn. Do I trade queens? No. You know, all the pieces are ready to pounce. I'm not actually sure which piece. Opponent wants queen g5 to trade queens. I'll play this. So now with queen g5, I take it, and the rook can't take back because of the pin. I don't mind the trade of rooks. All right, let's dive in with this rook. Always play king b1. I have queen check, bishop d3. Yeah, the end is near. Feel like there should be force mate. Actually getting low on time. Check here. Check here. Where's the mate? King e7, check. Why is this king so slippery? Check. Okay. GG. I'm sure I had like maiden 2 somewhere, right? Maiden 8. Maiden 5, okay. So it wasn't like super simple. There's a question, can we check afterwards for tactics in the previous position? Yeah, there's probably a more efficient way to win. But big kudos to my opponent for like finding this idea like to play f5 and win g5 and defend g7. And it's always winning for white, but against a weaker opponent, like black could still definitely fight on and maybe come back. So the better move would have been the other en passant. I played the wrong en passant. Because this way there's no check and queen takes pawn, so this pawn's defended. Okay. I think it's simultime. I'll start by accepting a random challenge. And then I'll send a few challenges myself. How about? Okay, random challenge. Oh, I'm being forced to play the Pirc or the Pirc. Okay, this is a from position challenge. Is it white's move? Yeah, it's white's move. In the meantime, I've sent another challenge, queen e2. Yeah, this is a line I sometimes like to play from the white side. I think I'll play knight c6 here. Isn't there a line like this? Takes, 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 takes. Let's go into it. My opponent is probably familiar with this if they've challenged me to this specific position. Okay, I was gonna simul, but because this game is so interesting, I'm gonna hold off on making the first move. Okay, so we basically have a scenario where, I mean, we can see it on the side. It's queen and 2 pawns for 3 minor pieces. And the first time I became aware of this line, I think I was a small child. I was like maybe 10 years old. I attended chess summer camp, which consisted of like chess lessons and eating lunch and bug house. But one of the chess lessons was the instructor showed this opening variation, and then we got to choose which side we wanted, the 3 pieces or the queen and 2 pawns. And most of the kids preferred the queen and 2 pawns, but I think objectively the 3 minor pieces are often stronger. So I have to be careful here. I'm gonna play this move. Was that Emery? I was not, yeah, Emery Castle Camp is a great camp in Georgia. But this camp was in Chicago. Forget the exact name of it. Let's play this. I have to be really careful. Queen c4 maybe? Maybe this move actually. My pawn is attacked and the queen's attacked. I can save the queen and the pawn and counterattack the bishop. Wow. A bold decision. Now let's take this. White's gonna take and destroy my things. If I play king e7, f3, queen, maybe h3, queen c4, b3. Wow. Very fancy. I could play king f7. Huh. This is 3-2, so I have some time, but king 7, h3, queen c4, b3. Oh no, b3 I take. There's no perpetual. This should be fine. A delayed bong cloud. So now it's queen for 2 knights. These knights can be tricky. Offer the rook trade. I just want to trade and not get forked. Okay, this rook is going to have to move very soon. Probably now. Okay, but now we simplify. I'm happy to give the queen, get an endgame, rook versus knight. I'll invade with a rook. It's actually not easy to win a pawn. Although probably rook a1 is coming. I'm trying to discourage a4. Actually, here I can play b4. Or clamping down. It's one of these cases where one pawn essentially fixes three pawns. There's en passant potential. If c3, I probably play a5. Now attack from behind. Okay, the rook is consuming things. I still don't have the passed pawn, except now I do. Yeah, usually in order to win such positions... Oh, I just got forked. To win such positions, you do need to like promote eventually. Let's go after this pawn. There's a question from James Ruga. When is the next I'm Not a GM Speed Chess Championship? Are you going to participate? The answer is I don't know to both questions. It's usually towards the end of the year. Last year I was invited not to play, but to commentate. But I wasn't free anyway to do either. Okay. GG. Yeah, it was a cool game. It's a cool line. Definitely have some nostalgia with this line. And it's one of these positions, the engine might not fully understand like how good it is for white. I do vaguely remember like the older engines would say, like it just basically counts material and sees queen and two pawns for three minor pieces. But even Stockfish, I'm surprised. Stockfish says that it's nearly equal. I think white still needs to be precise though. Like some bishop h6. I mean, white scores quite well out of the about dozen games that featured this position. So theory does continue here, h4. And yeah, it's a fascinating imbalance. So, I have a game open. I did send a challenge to another person, but I think they're MIA. Just going through the list here. Okay. Bear with me one moment. Good luck to my opponent, Michael-Rowe. And just to make this interesting, I'm going to accept a random challenge. So we'll have at least a 2-game simul. Let me close out of this. I have a few other pending challenges from some supporters, but they have yet to be accepted. Oh, this game isn't starting either. So right now is just 1 game going. Ponziani time. Here we go. Okay, now we have another game going. So it's a 2-game simul. This is the English opening. I'm going to play a reverse Grand Prix attack. Oh, this is a Vukovic Gambit. It's actually one of the trickiest lines against Ponziani. Most aggressive lines. Oh, another game started. Okay, 3 games at once. Here we go. D5, it's a fun gambit, which I don't have time to explain. Knight B4. Bong Cloud. All games I'm still in opening theory, especially this game. Is this overstimulating for some people? Wait a minute. I don't remember that being a move. I think knight d2? Bishop a6 c4? Also queen c2. I think knight d2. These pieces get a bit awkward. Okay, this square is the promised land for the knight. Yeah, sorry if this is too much to follow. Maybe next game will be just a single game. Oh, this is 5. Okay, so this is 5 plus 3. This game still hasn't started. Well, this game I might try and win like ASAP. Okay, I could take the knight or the bishop. I'll take the bishop. Offer the trade. And if takes, I can take and defend the pawn. Oh, okay, this game's starting too, so now we officially have 3 games going. Take with queen. We have a London, maybe Jobava London coming. And black actually has a decent position here. 3 pawns for the piece. I think b3 looks natural. f3. Oh, yes, my fork. Okay, I'll take and allow the bishop trade. Bishop d7. So the queen's attacked, the rook's still attacked. That's a free bishop. No mercy. Win the rook. So the biggest concern is time. Making sure I have enough time to convert. Bishop d3. This is a threat. I think I'll just allow it. I could take though. Take. Yeah, maybe taking is better. Queen f6 actually looks kind of cool. I'm so indecisive. I should probably take the bishop. All right, let's take here, take the bishop next. Play 92. Oh! I just blundered. The good thing about being up 2 bishops is that if you blunder 1 bishop, you're still up a bishop. Because that's how math works. Okay, let's castle kingside. Opponent doesn't fall for the mate. Pre-move this. King safety first. This is maybe coming. Opponents are fighting. Play this. I thought I had a5, but there's takes. King f1. Yeah, good move. Some compensation. Take. I don't think I want to allow the pawn to come there, so I'll play this. I'll give back the exchange. How's my time? I have 48 seconds in this game. G3. Kind of passive, but it's safe. Or maybe G5. All right. So this is the biggest like time deficit, but for my opponent too. Probably should not have allowed rook e8. Or that. I'm kind of making a mess of this. Oh, E4. Oh, wow. It's 100,000 rupiah. Thank you so much. Okay. Still trying to make moves in these games. Play this. Oh, I'll check out your channel. Yeah, feel free to use the clip. Oh man. I'm really struggling here. Okay, time is still fine. I should play King G1. I gotta focus on this game. I dropped so many pawns. Take this move. Oh no! Opponent's gonna find it. I'm in trouble. Oh, they don't find it. Alright, let's go after the pawn. Queen b5 would have won the rook. Okay, time is fine. Time is getting low. Pair bishop c5. Man, there's some lag. Oh, my rook. Let's trade. Can I take this? I think I can. Counterplay. Don't hurt me. Oh, good move. Have this move? Trade with me? I'm below 10 seconds in 2 games. Oh, this game I'm falling low too. Oh, I missed mate. Wait, opponent resigned. What just happened? We drew by repetition in one game. My opponent resigned in the other game. So we have one game going. Also, this person hasn't accepted their challenge. Oh dear. I think my opponent was being slightly nice there. Let me make sure I don't flag this game. Oh no, my queen! Someone call an ambulance. I guess there is this move. Oh, this person just accepted. Okay. This will probably be my final game. But we're back to having a simul here. Let's play this. I want to play this. It's not completely over. Huh. In this. Actually slightly annoying. I know what's happening. Okay, now I know what's happening. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, good game to Michael-Rowe. The one game that was a draw. This game, yeah, this game was insane. This game, yeah, I think my opponent was nice to me. Okay, this is the final game versus SkidsROOKie. After this game, I do have to go. But I'll hopefully do another stream in the near future. Specifically for like challenges. Probably mix it up a bit. There's a question. Eric, can you help me choose what should I play? Evans, Gambit, Ponziani, joviel, London. Those are all very different. If you play like Ponziani or Evans Gambit, those are openings within E4, E5. So if you're playing an E4 repertoire, you have to kind of be prepared not only for King's Pawn, E4, E5, but also Sicilian and French and Caro-Kann. And those are both like very fine, suitable weapons. But with any opening you play, you should generally be prepared for the most common things that you run into. joviel London, it's a bit more system-based, where you can play the same setup against pretty much anything black plays. And you'll probably get more consistent structures in most of your games. But there's not really a best opening to choose, like even out of those that were mentioned. Sometimes it depends how much you want to study. Like joviel London maybe requires the least amount of study. Evans Gambit probably requires the most in terms of understanding the different branches and the gambit lines. Okay, we have a very close position here. Queenside is pretty much locked up. Focus is going to shift to the king side. It probably makes sense to take. Like, because the position's so closed, knights are generally just happier than bishops. So you recommend Jobava London? Yeah, I guess I'm, like, I don't... There's no opening that I would say you should definitely play if you're looking to build a repertoire. But Jobava London definitely falls into the category of openings that are, like, easy to learn. And that one's specifically, like, decently aggressive. A bit offbeat. I think it checks a lot of the boxes that people look for in an opening. And these days there are like a lot of resources to learn it too. A lot of people have their courses. Also a lot of content on YouTube. As a London player myself, I sometimes will go into Jobava London against certain lines. What's happening here? Queen here. Take. Check there. Maybe take with pawn. Let's try this. Actually a little bit risky. Am I losing? I might be losing. My knight's a goner, but there is this tension. I might be threatening this. Wow, look at this move. This move is beautiful for a few reasons. First of all, it's a pork, combining the pin and the fork. But not only that, when I take back, it's discover defense. And it's another fork. Like such a weird pattern that you really don't see too often. Okay, now it's cleanup time. I want to sack my queen. All right, let's just move in. No mercy. Okay, GG. It was a cool sequence. A nice game to end on. I think I was probably objectively worse. Maybe even here, if black takes, allows takes, and then plays rook f7. Oh, but then I have h7. So how's black winning? Take, take. Oh, e5's hanging. Defending g7, and now I don't have anything. Yeah, look at this engine graph. I was losing for a brief moment. I see the comment from Eliza Montgomery. Eric, you should do a collaboration with Andres Toth. You two are my favorite chess YouTubers, and I'd love to see Toth's energetic approach and your zen calm on the same screen. Yeah, we actually did a collaboration years ago. I've raided him a few times recently. We actually played each other. I was not streaming. I think he was streaming a few days ago. Yeah, I know we have very different personalities. But very good teacher, educator, content creator. Shout out to Andres Toth. So, yeah, I'm wrapping things up. Big thanks to everyone who tuned in. Apologies, it's hard to accept all the challenges. Got through a decent number of games. Hopefully some lessons were learned. I will be back in the future, so do stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. I do appreciate those that help the YouTube algorithm. If you're watching on Twitch, you can follow, get notified when I go live. And yeah, I'm ending it here. Have a good night.